The Lake County Board of Commissioners, with all those who are willing and able, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And keeping in mind that today is a National Day of Prayer, grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence in our investigating, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for Thou art the source of all authority. And may we use our directives for the common good and for Thy honor and glory. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Present.
Okay, and this brings us to our first public comment portion, and I believe I'm sorry. Mike, come on up.
Thank you, Commissioners. I just wanted to give a final update on a overview of the Treasurer's Office. About 5 weeks ago, we identified, after the first half collection, about $7 million in delinquencies with the property tax collection. And we made some efforts for the first time to reach out to homeowners in the first half of the year to reach out to the taxpayers to collect the delinquent taxes. And we identified some groups of homeowners that we wanted to reach out to see if we could help them with grant money or with repayment options. And overall, we reached out to about 2,000 homeowners and mobile homeowners over the last 5 weeks. We had a huge response rate. We collected $862,000 in delinquent taxes. And this is the first time we've done this in the first half, so this is a significant number. I believe this will have a very positive impact on the county. We did have quite a few people apply for grant money that had financial difficulties, so I believe it made a very positive impact on somebody who was going through financial struggles. And I also had an update on the surplus account, which we've talked about a couple times. This is an account in the Treasurer's Office where duplicate payments of property taxes were put into over the last 25 years. This practice stopped a few years ago, so this account is no longer increasing, but there was about $5 million in this account when I took office in September. I was notified of this account by Commissioner John Plechnik and also Brian Massey. Since September, we have now either returned or identified $919,000 of the funds. Those monies have either been returned to the rightful owner, the taxpayers, or they have been identified and investigated and are available to go back to the prosecutor and the county. So I wanted to give an update on that too. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. And just on following up though on the delinquent tax assistance, we probably should mention though that there are programs, dial 211, get a hold of the Lifeline. They can help with the tenant and landlord assistance, and I believe there's actually a program that's also there. Eligible people can help with mortgage assistance. So,
I think Save the Dream Ohio is the main program, and then there is multiple other programs that are available. I have reached out to the State of Ohio Treasurer and also other treasurers in Ohio, and there are various assistance programs, but Lifeline is the best contact for that.
Excellent. Let's keep spreading that word.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, is there anyone else? Mr. Massey.
Brian Massey, 8196 Rainbow Drive. Commissioners, I just want to give a shout out to our Board of Elections on the wonderful job that they did on Election Day. I had the privilege of working as a poll worker at Auburn Career Center, and it's so nice to have teams working together to actually perform on behalf of the citizens of Lake County. There's no Republican, Democrat, Independent. It is just a group of people getting together to do what is right for the citizens. And I also want to make sure that the citizens of Lake County understand, I'm a guy of details, but the details, the amount of details that our Lake County Board of Elections go through is truly amazing. What they do to keep track of the different precincts, the different issues, candidates. They truly do a remarkable job. So I congratulate Ross McDonald, Dante Lewis, and the entire staff for a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? All right, then we're going to move into our special resolutions. Madam Clerk, if there's no objection, if we could start with item number 11, please.
In special resolutions, resolution proclaiming May 2022 Foster Parent Recognition Month in Lake County, Ohio.
So moved.
And I will second that. And do we want to, Suzanne, thoughts?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Commissioners, for taking the time out today to recognize the foster parents of Lake County. They are ordinary people who do extraordinary things for children in our community who have oftentimes experienced trauma and need a safe place to call home temporarily while we work to have the children reunify with their biological family if possible. Today I've asked our Children's Services Administrator, Allie Tomaselli, and one of our substitute care social workers to join me at the meeting. Kelly Kohlberg is our substitute care social worker who would like to say a few words about the foster parents of Lake County.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm Kelly Kohlberg. I am a social worker for Lake County Children's Services, and I work in the substitute care unit. So we license foster and adoptive parents as well as work with relatives and kinship caregivers. May is National Foster Parent Month, and in Lake County we have 44 licensed foster homes and are currently working on licensing 13 more. There are currently 36 children placed in our foster homes being supported by foster parents while their families work on reunification. We also have 6 children waiting for adoption, and 7 children this year have found permanency through adoption with our foster and adoptive families. Lake County Children's Services gathers to celebrate foster parents at a picnic at the Lake County Farm Parks. This year, the celebration will be held on May 17th, where families will be treated to dinner, kid-friendly entertainment, and recognition for their years of service. We also will be honoring our Foster Parent of the Year. Each year we do recognize a family for their outstanding service to the community and the families of Lake County, and this year's family will be presented this award at this year's event by Commissioner Plechnik. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Mr. President, I would only add, and I've said this before, but I will say it again, the real word for foster parent is saint. They create a family out of difficult circumstances to give a better life for our children. It is a huge sacrifice, but it does so much good. And frankly, talking to foster parents, I recognize that even as they make that sacrifice, they also get so much back. So the greatest thanks we can extend, we want to extend to the folks who've stepped up to become parents to children in need. And it's a lifetime of goodness, a lifetime of opportunities that you create by building a family. So thank you.
Excellent. All right, if there's nothing further, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Thank you. Want to do our presentation?
Absolutely.
Do you mind if we, thank you. Next item, please.
Resolution proclaiming May 14, 2022 Apraxia Awareness Day.
Motion to approve.
I will happily second that. And under discussion, if I may just read this into the record. Apraxia Awareness Day. Whereas childhood apraxia of speech causes children to have significant difficulty learning to speak and is among the most severe speech defects in children. And whereas the act of learning to speak comes effortlessly to most children, but those who have apraxia endure a lengthy struggle. Without appropriate speech therapy intervention, children with apraxia are placed at high risk for secondary impacts in reading, writing, and spelling. Whereas it is important to generate greater public awareness of childhood apraxia of speech among community members, physicians, education professionals, policymakers, and elected officials. Now, therefore, the Board of County Commissioners in and for the county hereby proclaim May 14, 2022 as Apraxia Awareness Day and recognition of these children and their families for their efforts, determination, and resilience in the face of such obstacles. I believe we have Joshua and his family here. Would you folks like to come to the podium and be recognized? Now, a little backstory. Joshua just got a fresh haircut, new suit, an amazing smile, and his very own commissioner pin. So welcome. Hello. You're very welcome, Joshua. It's very kind of you to bring this to our attention. You have a very special mother, and I had the pleasure of reviewing the emails and other communications, and you're very fortunate. She's amazing. And Dad, fine son there. That smile goes a mile. And we're honored to have you here, and we're honored to be recognizing this. Commissioner Plechnik, anything you care to add, sir?
Mr. President, I would just say that my mother's career was teaching blind and deaf children, which are illnesses that we're all too, disabilities we're all too aware of. A challenge that most people aren't even aware of is a double challenge because they may not understand what you're going through as you grow and you learn. But what we all need to recognize is that each of us at different stages in life face many challenges. That doesn't make us any less valuable as a human person, and it also doesn't make us any less a part of the community. It just makes it harder. And if recognizing this day can make even one child have one step easier, one step further forward, well, that's a huge thing. And we're making this recognition because of you, Joshua, because you and your parents brought this forward. The county commissioners didn't know, you knew, and you're helping so many other children in Lake County and across Ohio because you care and you're a special person. Thank you, Joshua.
Bless you.
But we wouldn't really have awareness if we didn't have a picture.
But before we had the picture, we had to have a vote. Or Madam Clerk will not like us. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Thank you. Now that makes it official. Now you're seeing all of our secrets. We can read everything.
Congratulations, Joshua. I think we see a future commissioner here.
Indeed.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
God bless you.
Remember, slow down, be patient. Madam Clerk, next agenda item, please.
Resolution proclaiming April 30th, 2022 National Therapy Animal Day.
Amen. Motion to approve.
And I will second that in discussion. Let's see, I know this is going to be near and dear to you, Commissioner Pletchik, being the animal lover that you are, but I too have a soft spot for this. I believe we have a couple of guests with us here today.
Thank you for having us. I'm Geraldine Hawk. This is my husband, Mike Hawk. We've been involved with therapy animals for 25 years, mostly at University Hospitals in Cleveland. Pearl has been visiting since 2018, and Wyatt just passed his test this past December. And their job is to make people feel better, happy. Children in the hospital, it just brightens their day. With COVID, we've been visiting a lot with staff members. It just lifts them up for a little while during their difficult time.
We get special requests from people at the hospital and also from staff. So sometimes we go, especially my wife, because she doesn't work, she goes during the day just to visit for an hour or so. People that just need something that day.
At University Hospital, there are about 440 dogs, and Pearl is the only cat.
Oh, wow.
We get a lot of requests for people that prefer cats.
And usually a line for people that want to see the cat.
Really?
Wyatt can get a little bit jealous.
Well, they seem to be pretty good chums here today.
Yeah, they are
Wyatt
very
and
good.
Pearl. Oh, my goodness, that's wonderful. Wow. Commissioner Pleshnik?
Mr. President, it's really wonderful that you're able to join us and bring Wyatt and Pearl too. I think we're learning more and more the common sense that a little love goes a long way. And Wyatt and Pearl, therapy animals, dogs, cats, have more than a little love to give. I feel so blessed to have my puppy Beamer. He may be nearly 10 years old, but he'll always be a puppy to me. And having a best friend, having someone to bear you up, who loves you no matter what, it's not just a wonderful thing, it's an example to how we're all called to treat each other. I think that our dogs and cats are teaching us something. We're supposed to love and take care of each other, and they do it effortlessly, without question. It's their nature, and I hope that we can make it our nature too. So thank you for inspiring all of us today. And frankly, I think the people of Lake County are just excited to meet Wyatt and Pearl today. I mean, my goodness, all the good they've done, they're heroes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and they were like our Walmart greeters this morning. They were just loving on everybody that came anywhere near. So I must say, Pearl, I have to ask, was it difficult training a cat to be that friendly?
I worked for a vet, so she came to work with me the first year of her life. So she got used to riding in cars and people and noises and dogs. And there's very little that bothers her.
Gotcha. So there's a lot of conditioning and
Right,
training.
right,
Okay.
yep.
And she seems very curious, just snooping around there. That's beautiful. Yeah. Okay, if you could just hang on for a second. Madam Clerk, if there's nothing further, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Okay, it's official.
Mr. President,
Sir.
I want to ask legal a question.
Oh.
I seem to recall that we have a therapy animal in our courts.
There is. And that's been there, beautiful golden Labrador, and the name escapes me.
Atticus.
Atticus, correct, yes. And Atticus does sit with our various crime victims during trials or hearings, and we get great feedback about that, and it is something that's very beneficial to the victims of crime, because it's tough to walk into court sometimes in certain cases and testify. So yes, Atticus.
So let me say, Atticus, this is for you too.
There you go.
Yeah. Getting our steps in here. Is it very ladylike? Very dainty.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Wyatt. You know, my dog Beaver likes to ride on my shoulder. Oh, he's your weight trainer? Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, if you'd care to pick up with the original agenda item number 1, please.
In the Utilities Department, resolution increasing appropriations within the Lake County Department of Utilities Sewer Operating Fund.
This is not as interesting as the last few resolutions, but very important because puppies and kittens need to drink clean water. So move to approve.
Second, discussion. None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Heimercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations and transferring cash within Lake County Department of Utilities Water Operating Fund and Project Fund 595, Walnut Street Waterline Project 449W.
Move to approve.
Second, discussion. None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Heimercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations and transferring cash within Lake County Department of Utilities Water Operating Fund and Project Fund 595, Line Street Waterline Replacement Project 430W.
Move to approve.
Second, discussion. None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Heimercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution approving plan specifications and estimates of cost in the amount of $145,659.80 for waterline for Taft Commons subdivision in the city of Eastlake, job number 21-71.
Move to approve.
Second, discussion. Randy, do you want to give some background on that?
Sure, this is just your typical subdivision, privately funded. It'll become a public water line once it's installed and approved and inspected.
Very good. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Heimercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations and transferring cash within Lake County Department of Utilities Water Operating Fund and Project Fund 595, Division Bank Atwater Waterline Project 446W.
Move to approve.
Second, discussion. None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Heimercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution certifying unpaid water and sewer sums and administrative charges to the Lake County Auditor.
Move to approve.
Second, discussion. None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Heimercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution awarding a bid contract in the amount of $669,557 to Neroni & Sons Incorporated for Hazel Avenue Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Project 402S.
Move to approve.
Second, discussion. Randy, a little background, please.
Sure, this is a sanitary sewer improvement in Madison Township. It's got a little bit of everything, some new pipes, some point repairs, and some sewer lining as part of it. It's part of our 2022 capital improvement plan.
Very good. Thank you, sir. If there's nothing further, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $673,693.02.
Move to approve.
Second. Discussion. None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $1,113,039.60.
Move to approve.
Second. Discussion. None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
Resolution transferring appropriations within various general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second. Discussion. None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
Okay, this brings us to our departmental reports portion of our meeting, utilities.
Thank you, Commissioner. I wanted to give you an update on our job fair that we had 3 weeks ago yesterday, April 13th. As you recall, we had about 90 interviews on site that day. Since then, we've had 30 second interviews in the last 3 weeks, and we have made a few offers, and we've actually had 2 accept already and have starting dates in about 2 weeks for that. So within 16 days, we had people accepting positions, which typically could take up to 60 or more days by the time we advertise for positions, gather the resumes, do first and second interviews, and actually get to that point. So we're very happy with the way this process went, and I think there'll be more success as we move forward.
Very exciting to hear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. President?
Sir.
I would just add, I had the chance to attend the job fair. It was great to see so many Lake County residents and people from surrounding communities interview. That we're already seeing the dividends of that is not surprising to me. But I know the engineer's office and other Lake County agencies are, just like local businesses, partnering with Ohio Means Jobs Lake County to have hiring events. And we want people to know that this is a local resource. If your business, if your company would like to have a job fair like Department of Utilities just did, that's exactly what Ohio Means Jobs Lake County is here to do. So they're there to help.
Very good. All right, moving on. Job Filling Services. Suzanne.
I would just reiterate what Randy and Commissioner Plutchnik just mentioned as far as the OMJ Center, and that any private business or public agency within the county could contact the OMJ Center to host a job fair. The number that they would call is 440-350-4000 and follow the prompts. We are always looking to assist companies, agencies, prospective employers so that we could fill jobs in Lake County. No additional report.
Thank you, ma'am. County Administrator Jason Boyd.
Good morning, Commissioners. Just briefly, from a construction standpoint, I know Randy and Mr. Gills are always reporting on things that they are doing for the county. Just a brief update on what our internal team is working on from a capital perspective as the hopefully weather breaks and spring gets here one of these days. We are always trying to be proactive in the maintenance of our facilities. A couple exciting projects that we're going to be going out to bid on, as the commissioners know, are improvements, actually construction of a new range, Lake County Sheriff's Office training facility. This will replace the existing dated, well beyond useful life facility that's there today, and give our local police, our sheriff's office, and in collaboration with our other police departments, the ability to do a multitude of training opportunities here locally without going beyond the county's borders. And secondly, some improvements throughout our courthouses. We're considering substantial HVAC improvements, and then also continuing to look at communications and radios for our first responders. So we have a lot of things in the queue, and just wanted to bring the commissioners up to speed on some of those potential projects. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir. All right, moving on. Madam Clerk.
Yes, I did want to mention that our next commissioners meeting is going to be Thursday, May 12th at 10 a.m.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. And legal.
No reports, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. Okay, moving on to old business. Do we have any old business? Hearing none, moving on to new business. Do we have any new business?
Mr. President?
Sir.
I would just say immediately prior to our commissioners meeting, I got to stop into Fiona's in downtown Willoughby. The Willoughby Western Lake County Chamber of Commerce was partnering with the Euclid Chamber of Commerce to bring our local businesses together. It's amazing to hear how many businesses are opening and how many new nonprofits and community gathering places are opening in Lake County. We'll be at a ribbon cutting for HOLA later today. It has been an incredible year for this county. It really has. To hear last year that we're continuing to grow in the census, to see business after business open its doors, this is not status quo. This shows the strength of Lake County, the great work that our communities are doing together with nonprofits and businesses. This is the best place to live, work, and retire in all of Ohio, and I think the message is getting out there. There was a big thank you from the Chamber of Commerce to the commissioners for their doubling of the arts and culture grants, as well as the investment in the signature grant program. So the chamber is grateful. The community partners are grateful for that support, and I'm very personally grateful to our Visitors Bureau for making the recommendation that we enhance that grant program. They were also very grateful for the investment in Classic Park and Captain Stadium so that we could save our Lake County captains, keep them right here, and I think this is going to be our most exciting season yet. A great interview with the Assistant General Manager of the Lake County Captains on Channel 3 yesterday. The link is available where we're talking about the summer events that are coming, not just at Captain Stadium, but across Lake County. And I know that there's going to be more to come. So this is going to be the year of Lake County, folks.
Well said. Okay, I do have some new business that has a little bit of old business overtone to it. Let's see, the Ohio County Commissioners Association, the JEDI Committee, Jobs, Economic Development, and Infrastructure Committee. Let's see, I want to bring to your attention a piece of legislation that we are following in the General Assembly. It is Senate Bill 193. This would prohibit political subdivisions from placing a lien on property for unpaid water charges. The JEDI Committee members are familiar with this situation, and they've had lengthy conversations with regard to water and sewer liens. As part of what we worked on before was House Bill 422 earlier this year. Limiting the placement of liens certainly seems to be a popular topic of conversation these days in the General Assembly. While House Bill 422 is limited to renter-occupied properties, Senate Bill 193 would apply to all types of property, whether renter or owner-occupied. The JEDI Committee was successful in working with our legislature and removing counties from House Bill 422. And the reason that I emphasize this, the impact to Lake County alone would be well over $1 million, and I'm thinking closer to 1.4, 1.5. Thank you, Randy. But this legislation would impact all political subdivisions. I'm sure you'll understand that if enacted, this legislation would cause significant difficulties for county water departments. The inability to apply liens on properties for unpaid water charges will inevitably lead to other ratepayers picking up the costs for the unpaid water services. Short of filing a lawsuit, liens are one of the few tools available to counties to ensure payments of these services. So we thought we had it taken care of in the House, and now the Senate came up with something that's even a greater overreach. So Randy, don't be surprised if we're tapping you on the shoulder for some more guidance on that. And again, for those who may not know, Randy Roethlisberger was very good at giving a synopsis of the impact that it would have on Lake County's utilities, and it was very guiding and convincing in the House. Hopefully the Senate will also see the wisdom in taking a good hard look at your information. And again, that's Senate Bill 193. All right, is there any other new business to come before this board?
Mr. President?
Sir.
My takeaway from that update is you are a Jedi.
Thank you, Padawan. Okay, on that note, moving on before I put my foot in my mouth further than I already have. Second public portion. Sir, Mr. Music.
John Music, 45 Coventry Drive, Painesville Township. I also want to give the thanks to the Board of Elections. You know, like I've said at this meeting many times, you learn more from working within than you can from looking in from outside. And over the years, I've worked at the Board of Elections from the polls all the way to my last job there was getting machines ready for people to vote on. And you don't really know what the members of the Board of Election actually go through. I mean, like Brian had mentioned, we see our results very quickly and accurately, and they're very, very detailed, and you can just about look at anything you wish to look at. So again, I want to say thank you to Ross and Dante and the staff members and the seasonal workers, the ones that are there at voting time, and I know for a fact they need more help during the election. So if anybody wants to really learn what goes on with our elections here in Lake County, I highly recommend getting involved. Thank you.
Well, there'll be another opportunity coming up later this year, so.
Mr. President?
Sir.
If I may, I want to personally thank the chairman of the Board of Elections, Dale Fellows, as well as his hardworking staff and board members. It's not easy to put on an election. He's here with us today, and I know that he wants to add a few words. I also want to say we thank everyone who stood up to run as a candidate, whether it's for one voting precinct or the entire county or the entire state. Whether you won, whether you lost, whatever you were fighting for, it's a huge sacrifice to run for office. It really is. So we congratulate the winners, but we thank everyone because you have to care an awful lot about your community to put your name out there and to really take the civic duty of voting to the next level. So thank you to the Board of Elections. Thank you to the candidates. I think we had a very successful election day, but I'll let the chairman add to that.
Well, thank you. Dale Fellows, 2812 Fowler Drive, Willoughby Hills. I was going to come up and thank everybody for the kind words, but I couldn't have said it better. Commissioner, thank you very much. But I want to thank Brian Massey for his service to our board as a poll worker, along with the other hundreds and hundreds of poll workers we had. We had somewhere between 700 and 800 to conduct this election. And then kudos, obviously, to our staff, our seasonal workers, as John Music mentioned, our folks that are there for our machines to do all the help with the machines and the programming and that's et cetera that's done by our staff. And of course to Ross and Dante, Ross McDonald, Dante Lewis, our director and deputy director. I think I can safely say from the boards, the 4 board members, that we just try and stay out of the way. You know, they do a wonderful job, and we are glad that we hired them all. So that was our role. And watch over and make sure that it's conducted the right way. And then kudos to all the people who came out to vote. That's another big testimonial too. There were some counties throughout the state that didn't have anywhere near the turnout that we did. So we appreciate the engagement of our electorate here in Lake County. And we thank you all, the commissioners, for being able to fund and do those things that we're able to do, because without the commissioners' support financially and that, we aren't able to conduct as good and smooth elections as we were. And the new equipment has been a huge hit. People are really enjoying it, and it's been not only well received, but doing a great job. Now, we will certify the election, and so everything is, as I tell people, unofficial. The results are unofficial until we certify, because there's still some outstanding ballots to go through, provisionals and late arriving absentees. And so we will certify on May 27th. So,
Mr. President?
Sir.
I would add on 2 points. First, I know the Board of Commissioners was excited to make the investment in the new voting machines. It helps us to get in and out of the polling places faster, but also in an age when people question the fairness or certitude of elections, I think it's so valuable that we have voting machines that are made in America, in no way connected to the internet, and have a paper ballot, so when we audit the election, we can all have 100% confidence that we have a free and fair election that can be verified. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the empty seat today. The first meeting we're coming together without Commissioner, now retired Commissioner Ron Young. He was really significant to the process of acquiring millions of dollars in state funding that helped to pay for those machines so that Lake County taxpayers didn't have to bear that entire burden directly. So we thank former Commissioner and former State Rep Ron Young for his hard work for many years on the voting machine project. We also, I have to double the thanks from Chairman Fellows to our poll workers, because that is a civic duty. They are paid next to nothing. They spend days of training, their entire day on election day, beginning to end, open to close, to give us that smooth experience and that confidence that we have our neighbors watching carefully as the ballots are counted and pulled together. I know that the Board of Commissioners are working very closely now with our prosecutor's office to explore how we can bump up the compensation for poll workers a little bit. There are actually quite a few complex legal and employment issues that go with that, but we want our poll workers to know that it is top of the mind to try to thank them for their hard work and to increase that compensation somewhat. So we're hard at work on that project too.
Well, thank you, and we could absolutely use more, as Mr. Music mentioned. We're always looking for more poll workers and even seasonal help if people are able to do that for a month or two before an election. And I want to also thank, again, Brian Massey brought up another good point, is the details that we go through. It is laborious sometimes to go through all the details and all the contingencies that may happen to make sure that everybody is well trained and well versed, and if something does happen at a location or whatever, we're ready and prepared for it. And we appreciate everyone going through all that training too. There was that day we had some warnings throughout the state and even in our area about bad weather that could have knocked out the electricity, but we have the backup batteries and we're ready to go, so there wouldn't have been any glitch in people not being able to vote. And we were
voting
all
by
prepared.
Candlelight?
We could, if we have to, we will, yes. So, but no, we're all prepared for those kind of contingencies, so thank you again, and thank you all very much for those who help, and anyone who wants to get involved, please contact the Board of Elections. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Jason Boyd, if you would, could you give us an update on the next phase of the opioid litigation that Lake County is entering into as one of the bellwether counties?
Yeah, thank you, Commissioners. The county, Lake County, as well as Trumbull County, just a bit of history, for the better part of 4 years, have been actively participating in a bellwether trial against the pharmacies regarding the opioid issue throughout the United States. Dozens and dozens of county officials, employees, agencies have been involved. I can't thank them enough, to the point where we had about a 2-month trial in the fall of 2021, received a successful verdict from the jury. Fast forward to beginning next Tuesday, the damages trial / component will begin in Judge Polster's federal court in downtown Cleveland. Myself, along with Adams Board Director Kim Frazier, who will be testifying, once again will be in attendance probably the next better part of 2 weeks. This will be a bench decision. There'll be expert witnesses from throughout the country to talk about the impact that we have had in Lake County, and then ultimately Judge Polster will make whatever decision he deems fit. So I probably will not be here the next couple Thursdays representing the county in federal court, and look forward to bringing positive news before the Memorial Day weekend. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Mr. President,
Sir.
I can't emphasize strongly enough that this is an effort to hold Big Pharma accountable. Lake County is holding Big Pharma accountable for the damage that's been done to our families locally. We're grateful to our county administrator, the Adams Board, and everyone who's pulled together for this landmark case. It's literally made international news. I watched a segment where Judge Trevitz, who handles our drug court in Lake County, observed the damage he has seen one-to-one, person-to-person, that aired in Australia. I mean, this is an international story about how a small county, 2 small counties, Lake and Trumbull, are standing up to this international industry that has profited so much off the human suffering of opioid abuse, intentionally or otherwise. And it's time to start the healing. We need the resources, and thank you to everyone who's been a part of fighting back.
Thank you.
Indeed, thank you. Okay, is there any other additions here under public comments? Anything else? All right, well, I will sneak in a get well soon Mayor Morley. He is the president of the mayors and managers, and he's a bit under the weather, but he's been working from his sick bed as best he can. I know he was very helpful doing a interview just the other day with, I believe it was Channel 5, was it, John? At the Captain Stadium, just to give a little bit of history and looking forward. Council President John Myers was kind enough to stop out, and I got to be kind of the guy in the background there. I let Commissioner Plechnik and John Myers out in front there. They got that down. Anything you want to add to that description?
You know, I would say we're getting a lot of positive coverage from the county's investment in the Lake County Captain Stadium, City of Eastlake. It's not just our baseball team, which is huge. It's our community center for the West Side, from Nitro Circus to the celebrity softball game with the Browns. So many people come to Lake County for the first time because of Captain Stadium. We have events where every year we have a majority of states represented. And 40% of the attendees that come to the Captain Stadium are from outside of Lake County. So it's one of the big venues that really showcase what a great place we are to live, work, play, relax, retire. And it's so important that with the newly promoted high A captains, we keep our team here. We keep that showcase. We support the businesses, the hotels, the restaurants, the bars, and the community events that rely on them, up to and including the Miracle League. So it's wonderful to see that we're getting a little attention for kicking off our summer season from Channel 3, Channel 5, the News Herald, because promoting Lake County is how we continue this great growth. We have everything here. This is the best place. People just need to know it.
There you go. That's what our Visitors Bureau is working on, getting that message out there. So we'll just keep parroting it and championing. Okay, if there's nothing further, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second, discussion. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Thank you. The meeting stands adjourned. Thank you for joining us today.